Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for September 3rd, 2014. Once again, a great blog planned for you today if you're new to the blog. A lot of fun will be going on today as we get some stuff going on. We're going to talk NASCAR at Atlanta as we are one race now away from the chase for the Sprint Cup. We have 2-a-days with the Falcons and the Panthers. Hunt for October and some quick hits, so let's get to the hunt for October first. Time to take a look at the Major League Baseball standings. In the American League East, Baltimore pretty much has the East wrapped up despite a major collapse. They're playing some very good baseball right now. They are currently 9.5 games ahead of the Yankees. Kansas City still holding a slim half-game lead over Detroit. They have 2 series left to play between each other, and Cleveland's 5.5 out. Out west, the Angels are showing that they are the class of baseball right now. They are 4.5 games now ahead of the Oakland A's. And the A's have slipped into that wild card spot. The other team in the American League wild card race are the Detroit Tigers right now, a game and a half up on Seattle, 5 on Cleveland, and 5 on the New York Yankees. In the National League standings are getting interesting as well. We have Washington pretty much running away with the National League East. They now have a 7-game lead over the Atlanta Braves as the Braves have really struggled. Another team really struggling, the Milwaukee Brewers, have now lost 7 in a row and fallen into second in the National League Central. The St. Louis Cardinals are now 2 games up on the Brewers and 4 up on the Pirates. And out west, the Dodgers and the Giants continue to stay close, but the Dodgers continue to lead that division by 2 games. Wild card standings in the National League have San Francisco with the first wild card by about 2.5 games over Milwaukee, who is in at the second wild card. Atlanta a game and a half back, and Pittsburgh is just 2 games behind. The team to watch right now, I would have to say, are the Baltimore Orioles. They're playing some very strong ball right now, and they're showing that they can make a real run at possibly being the World Series representative for the East and for the American League. And in the National League, right now I think the team you're watching are the Milwaukee Brewers as they continue to fall behind. They've lost 7 in a row, not playing solid ball. They can't beat the Cubs. They're going to struggle, and we'll see who gets in, who gets out, and we'll keep you updated on all things hunt for October. Alright, time for your first NFL 2-a-day today as we wrap up the 2-a-days today and Friday, and then the NFL season officially kicks off tomorrow, but we'll have some more stuff from that on Friday as well as I'll pick the rest of my games. NFL 2-a-days, Atlanta Falcons today. Last year the Falcons were 4-12. Just a terrible run game. Steven Jackson had a bad year, got hurt. Run defense was good. Their passing game was pretty serviceable as well. Draft, I'm going to give them a B+. I like what they did. They got better with their first 2 picks on both offensive and defensive lines, so they're going to get a B+ there. Key additions, they bring in some decent players, a defensive tackle in Jonathan Babineau. They also bring in the cornerback Javier Arenas and the kick return wide receiver specialist Devin Hester. Key departures, Tony Gonzalez retires at tight end, a big-time target for Matt Ryan, and the cornerback Asante Samuel is released. I think the big question for this team is, can Steven Jackson have a bounce-back year? I think this team's going to be good. I don't think they're going to be great. I think they improve off last year, and I have the Atlanta Falcons finishing at 8-8. All right, NASCAR is now one race away from the chase for the Sprint Cup, and it is going to be a wild chase. I think viewership will definitely be up for this, for sure. Currently, still, we have Jeff Gordon at the top of the point standings. Kasey Kahne, though, he picks up a win and gets himself into the chase, for sure, with his first win. We now have 6 guys with 1 win, and we have 3 guys just holding on. Kenseth Newman and Greg Biffle. Tony Stewart back up to 26th in points. He runs good at Richmond if he can get a win. But I want to get back to Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon put on a show on Saturday night in a different kind of way. Jeff Gordon running well early, blew a tire, hit the wall, and the guy just battled back. The guy was 2 laps down, around 40th position. He could never get those laps back. He kept battling, finished 17th. Really saved his points day, and this is what he's been showing all year, that he can do this stuff. And Jeff still leads the points and is still our top overall seed in the chase if it were to start today by 21 points. Other standings update. Let's just take a look down through. We still have 5 guys with 3 wins. Junior, Gordon, Logano, Keselowski, and Johnson. They all have 3 wins. One of those guys, if they could get a win, would clinch the top seed. And we're going to break down the playoff system for you as well next week. But I'll give you my talk about that on Friday and give you my pick for my winner on Saturday night's race. All right, time for our second NFL two-a-day. It is the Carolina Panthers. Last year, the Panthers were 12-4, a top 10 defense, a very explosive running game, but they just fell short because they couldn't throw the ball down the field real well. Draft, I'm going to give them an A-. They lost some wide receivers in the offseason, but they went out and got a very good wide receiver in Kelvin Benjamin out of Florida State. They also get Ely out of Missouri, the big defensive end, and I like the late-round pick of Tyler Gaffney, the running back out of Stanford. Key additions for them, they bring in wide receiver Jason Avant. They also bring in veteran wide receiver Jericho Cotchery, and they bring in the strong safety Roman Harper. Key departures were pretty much on the wide receiver side of it. They lose Ted Ginn Jr., Steve Smith, and Brandon LaFell. And I think the big question for this team is who will step up at wide receiver. We've seen Newton throw a lot to Kelvin Benjamin in the preseason, but we have not seen him throw a lot to Cotchery or Avant. They've been off on timing. So it's kind of looking like the man of the hour is going to be Kelvin Benjamin. Ultimately, I think this team will play pretty good this year. They're going to take a step back for sure, and I have them finishing outside the playoff picture at 7-9. All right, before we get on out of here, time for some quick hits. The big news out of the NFL today, Michael Sam signs with the Dallas Cowboys to their practice squad. I like the fit. Everybody thought St. Louis was a good fit just because of the football culture, which it was a very good fit for Michael Sam. But also I think they had too many people at the defensive end position, and I think this will be good for Michael Sam. He's going to get an opportunity, I think, with this team because they don't have a whole lot of good pass rushers. And he's also going to be back in his home state of Texas. Wes Welker suspended 4 games for use of amphetamines. Allegedly, he used Molly after the Kentucky Derby, and later on he used Adderall for his attention deficit disorder. No word yet on what is going to be happening. He might appeal this, but it's interesting to see that this guy had concussion problems, and now we're seeing him use amphetamines. This could be a stretch that he does not want to be going down. And another person in football suspended, the GM, Jim Irsay of the Indianapolis Colts, suspended 6 games and fined $500,000 after his issues with the league's personal conduct policy. Of course, he had the DUI, DWI, had a drug possession charge also. Just really not a good situation. Jim Irsay is going to be away from the club. That's what they need. They need to take a team away from him, make him appreciate what he has, and maybe he'll be able to straighten his life out. All right, a little bit of football, a little bit more football stuff. My college football picks over the weekend didn't go great. We'll do some more college football picks. I finished up at 2-3 last week. If you did the picks, let me know how you did. And my NFL Thursday night pick, I'm going to do that right now. I think the Seahawks are too good at home. The Seahawks are a 6-point favorite. I will pick the Seahawks to win and cover in their home opener. And finally, Yankees-Red Sox tonight. Yankees trying to get back on the winning streak tonight. They will face Ronwando, 3-0, 4.50 for the Red Sox. Yankees will send Hiroki Kuroda to the mound, who is 9-8 with a 3.88. I will be back on Friday. We'll do a Football Friday for sure. College football and pro picks. 2 days with the Saints and the Bucks. We'll talk NASCAR at Richmond. Thank you for tuning into the blog. Views over the past month have been up 10%, so that is a huge number for the sports blog. And the big reason is sportsmindednews.com. Check me out on there. Also, follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. You can comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.